some new Bosch coil packs already. Someone has definitely been trying to diagnose this before.
Normalnie widzisz, że te kanały między to. Fourteen. Okay.
Compression test is done. I've had a inspection camera inside of all the bores. Everything looks fine. There's no bent valves, there's no imprints on the pistons from if the valves did touch, so that's good. We have 14 bar across this bank 2, and bank 1 is 12 bar, so that's good, they're even. But we've got a higher compression on this bank, which would indicate that the timing has jumped, but we'll see. So next step will be to remove the engine. We'll be removing the engine in one piece with the engine, gearbox and subframe all in one go. So let's get to it. First step, get the bumper off, and then after the bumper's off we can take the whole front radiator and everything off in one piece so that we can get better access to wires and coolant hoses and whatnot. Underneath, in general, it looks pretty good. There's a couple small oil leaks from the front and on the back as well, but that'll be sorted when the timing is replaced. The only annoying thing is that someone has fabricated a custom exhaust, but instead of putting clamps, they've welded all the way around. So we're gonna have to drop the exhaust from there, and we're gonna have to take it off in one big piece, which is a bit annoying because it's a lot more work, and it's also awkward because of how big and heavy these exhausts actually are. But anyway, we'll carry on. Yeah, looks great.
When you need my voice, I'm here. When you need my voice, I'm here. When you need my voice.
So yep, that was around 4 hours of work compressed down into 6 minutes. But now that the engine is out, we can carry on removing the exhausts, subframe and the gearbox, and the main goal is to get down to the timing chains. And we need to get down to the timing chains because I believe that one of the guides is either broken or is about to break, because judging from the rattling coming from the engine, the misfire codes, the incorrect correlation and the inconsistent compression test as well, we can take a pretty good guess that something catastrophic has happened on the timing chain assembly on bank 2, but you can leave your predictions down in the comments. So we've got the subframe off. I've unbolted the starter motor so far, a couple bell housing bolts on this side, the gearbox oil cooler needs to be unbolted as well, and that needs to be unbolted because we need to remove the flywheel bolts for the torque converter, flex plate, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to spin the engine and there should be 6 bolts holding that together, and then after that it's just a couple bell housing bolts and the gearbox can come off. And the gearbox is off. Now to get to the timing we need to take off the flex plate. Got to take off some of these coolant pipes, vacuum pump, and then to be able to lock the camshafts we need to remove some of this wiring because the pins, oh there they are, behind there, that's where the tools go, so we need to take off these wastegate actuators as well on both sides. So still loads to do. And some of you might be thinking, why is there still 2 gearbox bolts sticking out the engine block? And the answer is, well, the bolts are aluminium and they snapped, so now I've got to drill them out. I see the problem. I see the problem. There's a guide missing. Oh, this one's broke as well. Look. Don't go anywhere. There's loads of plastic bits. Just this one bracket. Crankshaft pin in. Bank 1. Camshafts. Okay. Notches go in between there. Bank 2 is out slightly. Where's this notch? This one. That's the chain. So yep, it was just a broken timing chain guide causing all of those issues. So the customer has agreed to a whole new timing chain kit with all the guides, chains and everything. We'll also be doing carbon cleaning on the intake valves because it makes sense whilst the engine is out to do it. And we'll also be sorting out all the coolant leaks on the front of the engine. And one more thing that definitely needs to be done is the sump needs to be removed and the oil pickup pipe needs to be cleaned out because there will 100% be loads and loads of little plastic bits blocking it up. Main chains on, and the two smaller chains for the camshafts as well. The cam adjusters are in the correct position, and this one as well. So now all that's left is to put the oil pump chain on, tighten these, give it a few spins, and that's it. The rear covers are on, they look nice and clean. The Aqua Blast machine does a really good job. Now that's left is to put the rear main seal in. Rear main seal in, yeah, that makes sense. And then we'll move on to taking the manifolds off and then do carbon cleaning. And then also we're going to be replacing this valve, water pump and all the seals that are leaking. And one thing that we also will be doing is we'll be pulling the sump off so that we can retrieve any pieces of broken guide that will be stuck in there. And the worst part of the job continues. I don't know anyone who enjoys cleaning valves. Personally, I think it's the most boring process ever. You just sit in there and spraying these walnuts at the valves. But nonetheless, we'll carry on. We'll get them nice and clean. But anyway, after that's done and the valves will be nice and clean, I'll move on to replacing the water pump and all the valves and all the seals. And then after that's done, I'll move on to pulling the sump off so that we can retrieve all of the plastic broken guides that will be in there and probably blocking the oil pickup pipe. So let's crack on with it. Finally, after a long time, all of the valves are clean and I can move on to something else. To reassemble these intake manifolds, you need to pull a little bit of vacuum to be able to open the air distribution flaps, because if you don't do that, you will get some very weird and scary fault codes when you put the engine in and start it for the first time. Now that both intake manifolds are back on, valves are clean, we've got new gaskets, new injector seal kit, the timing's done. We can move on to replacing the water pump, valve and all the necessary gaskets that we'll be replacing, because there is a few coolant leaks coming from them. And then after all of that, we can finally pull the sump off and have a look what surprises will be in there. Ooh. Uh-huh. It's safe to say that the engine is looking a lot better than what it was before, but let's hope that it will be running a lot better as well. That's the main thing. So, only thing left to do now is put this massive twin turbo V8 back into the chassis and start it up. So I'm sure that everyone knows owning an RS6 isn't cheap, but just for some context, these oil cooler gaskets are £41 each. So that's £82 for 2 gaskets. So I think that's money well spent. running. No misfires just yet, so that's good. So as you can see, we're no longer at the garage. We've gone for a short test drive. The car drives beautifully how a RS6 should drive. There's no more misfire, so that's good, but that was to be expected with what we found behind the timing cover. It is actually quite common for this side for that guide to break, so it is a pretty common issue on these, but we managed to get it sorted. No more misfires. Runs good, drives good, brakes good, and it also looks good. Well, as long as you don't get too close to it. Some bits of plastic missing, the paint job isn't the best, but if you look at it from this angle and don't look at that, it does look good. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.